Hello there. We're through inspection if we had an inspection. I do want to reiterate that. We're through inspection if we had an inspection. We're through negotiations, everything else. Next step, if you remember me talking about it in the buyer consult, is where it gets kind of quiet.
Too quiet.
The only other thing that should be happening is an appraisal. Once we hear about the appraisal, the one thing I do want to let you know, if we hear back appraisal value and we need to negotiate, that's totally fine. We'll have that conversation. If everything comes back all good, you may hear the word as is. I just want to let you know, on an appraisal, as is means there's no work orders. They think the house is in good condition and it passes for the qualifications that you need to get the loan. The reason I bring that up, because if you remember when we first started looking at houses, we may have seen seller selling house as is. As is, when a seller is stating it, normally means there's some things that need to be repaired and they don't want to deal with it. So the only reason I bring that up, if we hear that on the appraisal, I don't need you feeling concerned. The only thing we're going to hear if there's a problem is more than likely it needs to be fixed by the seller or we need to discuss price points, okay? So with that being said, that's really where it starts to become quiet. It's more of, there's a whole bunch of behind the scenes with title looking up things and everything else that I'm dealing behind the scenes that you're not really dealing with. The only important thing for you on this matter is if your loan officer is reaching out asking for documents or updated bank statements or whatever it may be, get those to them as quickly as possible to make sure we don't interfere with the process. Outside of that, the time between inspection and closing, it's kind of a quiet point for the buyer. It feels like a whole bunch of hurry up and wait once we get under contract, but once we get past inspection, it's a little bit quieter. So again, make sure you're turning in all the documents you need. And outside of that, next video, we're gonna be talking about the closing. So any questions, always feel free to reach out to me. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video.